Make yourself comfortable and bring your attention to your breathing. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out stress and tension. Keeping your mind in the present moment by focusing on the sensations of breathing in your body. As you continue to focus on your breathing and the soothing music, notice feelings of peace and calm begin to envelop your mind and body. You have just walked through a forest and find yourself by a path that leads to the mountains. The smell of pine trees and sounds of woodland birds have been welcome company on your walk so far. But here in the open, on the edge of the forest, the air is cooler. You stop to put on your coat and take a drink from your flask. As you look up, without the tall trees obscuring your view, you can now see the snowy mountain peaks beyond the closer ridges. You set yourself the goal of climbing to the top of the first ridge. When you are ready, you follow the path. It is made from large slabs of slate stone and is bordered by wild heather and lavender. Some early morning mist lingers close to the ground, and you can feel the coolness around your ankles. As you make your way up the sloping path, you hear tinkling bells and can see some cows grazing on the slopes ahead. Some of the cows look up in your direction, and a few of them start to amble slowly towards you. Even though they have big horns, you do not feel afraid. Something deep within tells you there is nothing to fear. These are gentle creatures, and after stopping for a while to enjoy their calming presence, you continue on your way. The terrain gets more rugged when the path ends. You start to climb up the mountain to the first ridge and need to pick your way carefully to make sure you don't slip. It is a climb that is taking effort. It would be easier to go back, but you are determined. Every now and then you stop to rest and have a drink. Every time you turn to admire the wonderful scenery behind you, you see how far you have come. You have come a long, long way, and you are now very close to your goal. It would make no sense to give up now. So you keep going, one step at a time, and then finally you are at the top of the first ridge. On the other side of the ridge, you see a deep valley filled with a most unexpected and gorgeous blue lake, and more mountains on the other side. There is a well-kept cabin just below the ridge. You walk towards the cabin and call out to see if anyone is home. A kind-looking man comes to the door and greets you warmly, almost as if he has been expecting you, and he invites you inside. You step inside and immediately notice a calming atmosphere and a most pleasing aroma of leather from a large sofa and scented wood from the logs making up the walls and ceiling. There is a crackling fire in the stove and soothing golden light from a few table lamps. The man says he was just about to make some tea and asks if you would like some. You gladly accept his offer. To your confusion, though, the man puts on his coat and shoes. Seeing the confusion on your face, he says, "First we have to go to the lake and collect some fresh water." He beckons for you to follow him and suggests you leave your bag in the cabin. You put your bag down by the door and follow the man the short distance to the lake. When you get there, you are dazzled by the almost luminescent lake and marvel at the beauty of the surrounding mountains and their stunning reflections in the crystal clear turquoise water. It looks like there is a village on the other side of the lake, as you can see houses and other buildings and a road winding down to the lakeside. The man climbs into one of the boats and calls for you to hop in. He lights the lantern, and when you are safely on board, he pushes off and starts to row out towards the middle of the lake. The man explains that the deeper water away from the shore has special healing qualities, and people visit from far and wide to enjoy the benefits. You watch as the oars create circular ripples that radiate outwards, temporarily disturbing the glass calm surface before slowly disappearing, only to be replaced by more ripples each time the oars enter the water. The late sun is going down, and only a sliver is left peeking over the top of the mountains, leaving the lake and valley bathed in growing shade, so you can see the sparkles of light reflecting in the water. As you are admiring the beautiful reflections, you think you see a large fish deep below the surface. At first, it is indistinct, but when it comes into focus, you see it is a mermaid. You let out a gasp of amazement, and the man understands you can see the merfolk. He tells you that only those who are truly blessed are able to see them. The man stops rowing and lowers a large container into the water. You watch as the container sinks deeper and the rope it is attached to unravels. You see the mermaid unhook the container and dive down with it into the depths until you can see her no longer. After a short time, she comes back into view and reattaches the container to the rope, and with her hands now free, you can see her waving and smiling. Before you realize what you are doing, you find yourself smiling broadly and waving back. The man reels the container back into the boat and then brings his hands together in a praying position, as if to say thank you to the mermaid. He takes some things from his pocket and places them in the water. You try to see what they are, but they are sinking too quickly. And then the man begins rowing back to shore. At the shore, the man asks you to carry the lantern to light your way as you go back up to the cabin, and he brings the container of water. When you get back into the cabin, the man fills the kettle with the healing water you have just collected. You ask him about the mermaid, and he tells you that she and the other merfolk who live in the lake serve all the people who come from miles and miles around to the lake by keeping them safe and helping them access the healing water that is too deep for humans to get to. When the water has boiled, the man pours it into the teapot to brew. You ask him what he placed in the lake for the mermaid, and he tells you they were old snail shells filled with sand and sealed with wax, things that the merfolk are not able to get in the lake. They use the shells to make jewelry and ornaments, the sand to line the bottom of the lake so it is soft, and the wax they use to play games. When the tea has brewed, the man pours a cup for both of you, and you sit together on the sofa. The tea tastes so delicious. You sink back into the cushions to savour every drop. You hear the man telling you more about the merfolk of the lake, but you are feeling so relaxed and sleepy that you close your eyes and soon doze off to sleep. By and by you stir and recognize the familiar surroundings of your own bedroom before you fall back into a deep and blissful sleep. When you wake in the morning, each time you think about the cabin man, the merfolk in the lake, and your journey to meet them, you are reminded how strong and courageous you are, and how not giving up will always lead to very special rewards.